Hi, Bill Henshaw here again, another one of my current events YouTube videos. And this one concerns the recent vacancy in the U.S. Supreme Court with the death of Ruth Ginsburg. And to a lot of us, that's a lot of relief, but I don't mean anything negative by that, because I think basically she was a pretty good person at heart. And amazingly, was close friends with Antonin Scalia when both were on the court, and they're about as far apart as you can get philosophically as you can imagine. That said, I think maybe Ginsburg, and she has a lot of company here, is what T.S. Eliot was thinking when he first opined that, the last temptation is the final treason, to do the right thing for the wrong reason. And all these left-wing wackos have been doing that, using the 14th Amendment, the war powers of Congress, and it's not how we get things done here. Never has been, never will be. I can prove the 14th Amendment does not exist. Send me an email at youwinincourt@gmail.com for information on my document packets, and you'll find out for yourself about that. Anyway, that said, we don't know who's going to be appointed. It looks like it's Amy Barrett, I think it is, who apparently is a rock rib conservative, which doesn't mean the same thing that it did when I was growing up. But at least she has some belief in original intent. It remains to be seen how much. But it should be a big improvement, and now it makes the court 6-3. So we've had a bunch of decisions recently that 5-4, with Roberts sometimes writing the opinion for the majority. And I think Kavanaugh has been there too. But now they won't be as inclined to switch because their vote won't make a difference. It'll be 5-4 without them. So that's a big difference. And by the way, to those of you that are advocates of Roe v. Wade and all that apportioned bullshit that comes from the 14th Amendment, don't worry. You get there and make the right arguments. There's clearly a right to that. I mean, there's no question about it. It's just simply not a 14th Amendment issue, and never was. And hip pocket Harry Blackmun shouldn't have addressed it that way in his majority opinion. So, and other things come into play too. All your LGBTQ types, same thing. I mean, you don't have any rights per se, certainly not under the 14th Amendment, which doesn't exist. There are legitimate ways to get it if you do it consistent with the Constitution. That's one thing. If you don't, we're looking at another. Black Lives Matter, ditto. In fact, there are claims, what you're really saying is Black Lives Matter more because you have federal remedies that lawful de jure jus sanguinis state citizens don't have. And not only that, but you're using, again, the war powers of Congress to get these. And as the Supreme Court says in their Ashwander Doctrine, he who accepts the benefit must bear the burden. You volunteer into the system and have become a slave again, whether you know it or not. That's the price that they extract for whatever little protection we get from civil rights, and only when they have to make it look good. So that said, the change on the court, and God's gal isn't even 50, so she'll be on there for 20 odd years. And we'll see how much of a difference this makes. Now, if Trump gets reelected, which I'm anticipating, it won't be as big a deal as it would, because he'll probably have another chance for an appointment, maybe 2 in 4 years, both liberals. And we'll see how it works out. So, that said, remember to subscribe, like my videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The more of us actively involved in going after these bastards and over a wide spectrum of people, Americans, Asians, Africans, that's what's going to make a difference, because they can't beat us all without admitting that there's no Constitution. And very arguably, there hasn't been one since at least March 9th, 1933. In fact, one of the things you'll get in my document packets is a Senate report that talks about that in 1974, complaining about the fact that we've been in effect in a state of martial law for 40 years with one or another pretended state of emergency. Not only have things not improved in the last 45 years, they've gotten worse with all this COVID crap. And I'm working hard to be dealing with that too. In fact, I got a COVID packet, as you'll see if you send information from my documents. So as I said, subscribe, tell your friends, like the videos, send me an email, youwinincourt@gmail.com for more information, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.